Are you ready to try your wine?
Of course. Of course.
We're trying this right. We're trying
All right.
OPP.
Yeah. Yep. So we have other people's Pinot. This is my interpretation of everyday drinking Willamette Valley Pinot Noir. So kind of the best of both worlds, right? This is, it has that fruit that you associate with California that meets the terroir, the terroir or taste of the land of the old world. And it meets in this really glorious place called the Willamette Valley. And each year it's, kind of my job to kind of try to collect and harness that and put it in a bottle. So this is, when I say quintessential, this is high tone red cherry fruit, cranberry, this little bit of like earthiness, a little bit of mushroom. I always get like a little bit of ginger. But it's 2019 was considered, I considered it one of the return to some of the cooler vintages, especially if we're looking at 14, 15, and 16. 19, tends to be, wasn't overly hot. But you do get ripe fruit. This is, this smells amazing today.
Pinot Noir is one of my favorite grape varieties still to this day. Trying a Pinot Noir was one of the reasons why I actually got into the wine trade. You know how you talk about, well, yours is the 99 bottles, but like you talk about there's this 1 or 2 bottles of wine that you can't get out of your memory. And Pinot, mine was in Nuit Saint-Georges, but it was it was actually, I tried it at 30,000 feet because I was on a plane. But it's Pinot Noir is just like every time I smell a Pinot Noir, it brings me back to that memory, even though I know it's not the same terroir.
Correct.
But
correct.
It also, I want to jump into the glass. And I love, as you're explaining it, like I can smell, I like wish people at home, well, actually people at home, you should just go out and get this wine, but try the wine and like rewind as Andre's talking about it and smell everything that you're smelling and tasting, because I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's just, it's just got like this lovely perfume to it. And what I really love about Pinot Noir too is that, that it evolves, right? I like to call it this thinking man's grape. It evolves. It's not just one dimensional. So, you can, every time you come back to the glass, over the time that it's in the, in your glass or in the bottle, it changes. Like you pick up on something different, right? So, I feel like there's a little bit of white flower, there's a little bit of floral component to it. On the palate, there's, a little bit of minerality, but like also it's really got great acidity, right? So you accentuate acid on the sides of your tongue. So if they start to tingle, that means the wine, has some acid to it.
What, of the provisions you have, what meat would you pair with it, and or what dish would you eat with this right now?
One of my favorite is this Lady Edison country ham. So Lady Edison, Rufus Brown, one of the farmers down there, they take North Carolina hogs, and I mean it's just it's just beautiful, thinly sliced, very much in the same. But when you think about country ham traditionally, it was kind of hacked off and it was served thick, really salty. Put it in a frying pan. You would make red eye gravy with it to kind of pare down some of the saltiness. And I always started to think about like, well, wait a minute, this is just like prosciutto. Like, why are it would be sacrilege for you to hack a piece of prosciutto off like that thick. And, I started to think, it's always, in those terms, like, someone's like, first time I ever had polenta, and they're like, it's called polenta. And I'm like, it's like, shit, this is grits. These are grits. What are you talking about? Right? You know what I mean? So, and it's always interesting. It was always when it was from somewhere else, it was fancy or it was held in high esteem. But you're like, oh, no, this is country ham. This is the same thing. Maybe some of them introduce smoke. Lady Edison has no smoke, and that's why I like to have it with Pinot Noir. So that the smokiness can kind of interfere with that. And then the idea was like, no, I'm going to take country ham and I'm going to slice it and take care of it as one would do Pata Negra, Iberico, Serrano, prosciutto San Daniele, all of those things. And so you really start to see that. And so that's one of my favorite ones right now, is Lady Edison. So it's kind of got like this funk to it as well, kind of like mushroomy. It doesn't have the sweet smell of smoke. But that's one of my favorite things to pair with it right now. Dish wise, Actually, we actually used this particular ham in that dish. We had this persimmon dish that we did. So it was basically a few persimmons. It was burrata cheese, mint, a little olive oil, and cracked black pepper, and then with a little bit of country ham on it.
You're talking my love language here.
Yeah, yeah. We call it our, that's our ham. It's our ham and fruit plate that we did, and so that was really great. So that's what dish I would pair it with.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I feel like this is such a treat to speak to you, and such a treat to hear your perspective, and it's so inspirational, I think, for those of us who love this industry so much, those of us who want to pick out an amazing bottle of wine, those of us who want to start jumping further into pairing of food and wine, and you make it so approachable and accessible. And for that, we thank you. Is there anything else I haven't asked you, or any tips you would give to anybody coming into the trade that you want to share today? Or just anything in general, that dropping a knowledge bomb. I also feel like I should have said this before. I really think that we should play Naughty by Nature every time we're drinking this wine. Hip hop and R&B and wine are my favorite things. So that mixed with cheese and ham.
Yeah, it's the best. It's totally the best. Yeah. We used to have a restaurant that I didn't think that they knew who I was. And so I would come in, I went in 3 times before I realized that either they're having the same playlist on or they're fucking with me. So they would, and it was the latter, right? They were like, oh no, we were trying to send you a message that we knew you were here by playing the music. And so I thought that was pretty funny. I think
I was thinking too, for people who are too young to know what this song is, and what this song means. I don't know, kids, you may not want to be Googling what Naughty by